Good afternoon, my friends. Hope everyone is doing well. It looks like I am having issues again with my internet connection is very good. There we are. It looks like we're doing good now. Hope everybody is doing well today. If you could just real quick like and subscribe to me real quick if you don't mind. And if you already have subscribed to me, please like this video, share with your friends so that they can come check it out and see if they like it or not. I want to shout out real quick to the producer of this music, real quick. Just want to throw her name out there. Her name is Stay Weird ENT 420. That's stay.weird.ent 420. She creates music for us, or not necessarily for us directly, but she creates music that I really like. So I want you guys to go check her out. She's pretty awesome. She's on YouTube. Again, that's like stay as an STAY dot WEIRD dot ENT dot 420. With this chill kickback music, I always like it a lot. So, really unique day in the markets today. We've had some pretty interesting things. Biggest thing that I've noticed more than anything is just this sideways market right now. Kind of waiting for the markets to go in a certain direction, and we're kind of playing in between some moving averages. And so, partly just kind of waiting on news tomorrow, and on Friday got it's got new home sales on Friday, I believe, and then we got unemployment, I believe, tomorrow, and something else. Don't quote me on it, but I know we got some big stuff. That's why we're kind of moving kind of in a sideways pattern here. So I think we're going to see maybe potentially a sell-off here in the market. So it's going to be really interesting to sit there and see what's going on. And additionally to that, let me go ahead and go into the charts here real quick for you guys so you can check it out. Give me 1 second. Boom. Here we are. And let's go ahead and present my screen here real quick. Here we go. So you should be able to see my charting here real quick. S&P 500 has been playing in between some moving averages here, like I've said. So let's check it out here real quick. We're going to go into the daily chart. You can see here that they've been playing in between that 50 and that 89 moving average here. So you can see here that we've been playing off of this today. We rallied up into this level here, but it's just where we're playing at. On the weekly, you can see here as well that the market is coming up and hitting this moving averages on the week. We have the 20 period moving average sitting right here, as well as we have that 8 sitting right above it. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in this market. Are we going to see it rally up? We are seeing a nice, we're midweek right here, right? So we've had a decent wick here. We could be coming up into these higher levels where we have a 50 period moving average sitting, where we could see that come into play. But we do have some seller wicks sitting at these levels. So it'd be really interesting to see if it comes back down. But just as you see here, if it does decide it want to sell off from this level here, where we're sitting at that weekly moving average, we potentially could see it come back down the S&P 500 to 37.49. So it's something that we could be paying attention to. In addition to that, if we decide to start to consider going sideways here, then it's something that you guys are going to be paying attention to. So you could be playing the upwards and downwards market here. So if we do start to consolidate there, it's going to start putting in these levels where you'll definitely, it won't be able to go high. And as soon as it hits it, you'll see it sell off to the next bottom level. And so that potentially could be right in between these levels of 39.11 to, actually, let me put this back up here real quick, to the 37.50 area. So these areas here are just potentially turning points that we could be seeing a consolidation period here for a while. So we'll see what happens. This could be a maybe even 2-3 weeks here before we really start to see a real breakout at these levels. There is the 200 period moving average sitting below us on that weekly here. And you can see how we did come off on the S&P 500. We did pierce it though. So it's something to be paying attention to as we are entering into it. If we do start to see a sell-off, guys, we still have that 50 period moving average on the monthly as well. So like I said, we're in this little bit of range area here. So be ready for us to kind of just play off of it. All right, guys, that's pretty epic. And additionally to it, let's check out here, guys. Well, let's get to Bitcoin. Yes, let's get to Bitcoin here real quick. There we are, Bitcoin. Again, I'm having some issues transferring and getting in between these for whatever reason. Again, it's not moving as well as I would like it to. So, unfortunately, sometimes it's just the way it is, right? You can't really do anything about it except for let it do what it's going to do. So, I know some of you guys have been waiting for a while for me to kind of go live here. So I figured that, at the end of the day, of the trading day, I probably should pop in here and say what's going on here. So um, I wanted to make sure that you guys understand that I'm just, I'm grinding and trying to make things happen, right? If you guys have any questions, also any concerns you want me to go check out, please ask me questions in the comment box here. I can see your comments there. If you just want to say hello and a shout out and say hi, you're always more than welcome. I love hearing from you guys and everything that we do. But ultimately, let's go ahead and go right into Bitcoin here. If you guys, and one last little thing. So I posted this in some of the reviews that I did today with on a couple of the other lounges that I'm a part of. Listen, Elon Musk went out this past weekend and put out a vote for the whether he should be president or not or CEO of Bitcoin. I personally think he should. If you guys feel that same thing and you missed the vote, I'd reach out to him and see if see if he'll request see if he might repost that post of him being the CEO and realize how many people have realized that they didn't get any votes. So if you will do that also, if you missed that, that'd be top. That'd be cool. Real quick, let me go ahead. Here we go. Okay, so let's jump in here real quick with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is having a little bit of fun over here. And it's going to post this here. So I'm pointing these things out. It's really important to see that Bitcoin has been playing in between, again, a sideways pattern here as well, especially on the 8 hour. The 8 hour, it is stuck in between the 8 and 20 moving average. And then on top of that, we've hit this 8 period moving average sitting here. Now we have this junction point sitting here in Bitcoin. You can see that this coin here is definitely, it's definitely trying to get up, but it's just not finding enough strength. So it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen here. Now, it's important also to manage that we are at a resistance level here and another resistance level or another support level right here. So you can see here that the bear, or excuse me, that the bears were not able to push the market all the way down. So really interesting to see if the bulls come in tomorrow hard and push this market up, maybe into this 50 period moving average, simply because whatever, the bears are just kind of holding off. Maybe they want to push the shorts up here at these levels because we do have selling pressure here. We have that 50 period moving average, which has been pretty consistent and keeping price down as you follow it in the back, follow it back. Let's check out that weekly chart here as well. So the weekly chart, we still have that 50 or that 8 period moving average sitting here. Now it's important to also understand that when that 8 period moving average decides it wants to come down even harder, it might even come on. Here you are. When the 8 period moving average kicks in, it will. You can see like it will the price will come up, but then it'll just sell right off just as hard on this weekly chart. So making sure that you guys see that if it comes down and we start to push higher, we have these areas here that are sellers. The sellers have stepped in and pushed the market down. So something to be mindful of there, as well as if we do see it sell off below our lower levels here of the 16, um, that 16, where is this at? 16, 100 to the 1509 area. If we see it sell off through here, that next level is down at that 14,000 mark, at 1469 ish area. We can see this thing come back down into these levels here. We have a big seller wick from last week. And so it's really going to be interesting to see with these moving averages what's actually going to happen. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand what we're seeing here. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing, Brian? What's up, Arion? It's good to see you guys. Shout out to Brian with Coin Launch Lounge, as well as Arion with um, Ninja Lounge. Thanks, guys, for popping in and saying hi. Appreciate you guys. If you could hit that like button, would appreciate it. Whatever platform you're watching me on. And additionally to that, I want to point out here that if we do come down into these levels here, well, that's an interesting question, Brian. When we do, I honestly think that the buyers are kind of playing that long game, like the institutions, they're not dumb people, right? And so they understand that a crypto winter is for about a year or two. So we might see them, let the market, come all the way down to that 14, 13-ish area, even down to that 10,000 area, right? And just pick up, let them load up, right? There's not a lot of buyers or sellers. So if institutions do step in, they're going to really move the market, right? And so they don't like doing that until they have their bag set up for more than enough. So it's an interesting thing to be looking at. It's good to see it. Hey, Brian, if you want to come on, man, let me know, dude. I'll bring you in too as well. Both you guys, Arion and Brian, if you guys want to come in and talk charts, more than welcome to have you guys. Just let me know. Um, but what's interesting is within this market, the market is when it comes down to the buyers, right? Our buyers are different now than in previous Bitcoin lows, simply because institutions are paying attention, right? And so, and not that they weren't paying attention to us back then, but there's some major moves that we could potentially see happen in the markets if they do step in. And I don't think that they want to really push the market up. So at least right now, I don't think they want it. I think they want to put their bag and they want to get in, maybe even at a little lower around that 10,000 ish area. But it all depends. It all depends on what they want to do. What was that? I share via community post, brother, on my channel. Cool, man. Yeah, man. I'll send it to you right now. That's good. All right, that's cool. No worries. I'll send you. In case you guys do want to pop up in here, you're more than welcome. So jumping back into what we're saying though, the market here is a very precarious thing, simply because it we in the traditional market, it is, it's we're it's scary times. The idea of a recession, potential depression, right? Like that's real in today's world. And in additionally to that, we also have, so it's one of those things that I think is something we need to be paying attention to. Um, so and to sit there and ignore that and think that crypto is, not going to be a part of that, is, I think it's kind of foolish. Now will it go as low, as the stock market, in relation to the drop? I don't know. I feel like we are we're in crypto winter here. So, the idea of maybe falling another, 100% where it gets down to 8,000, I don't know. I mean, I do have that set up here as in our zones. Potentially we could see a 2,000 4,000 area drop, within Bitcoin still, just because that's where there's zones down there where there are a lot of buyers sitting. So we very much could see a BTC drop, down to that level. But who knows, right? Who knows? You never know which way the market really wants to do what it wants. Well, it's going to do what it wants to do, right? And so your job is simply just to follow it and play off of it. So real interesting. The other thing behind it as well is there are new factors in with Bitcoin, right? That the fact is that the institutions, and then on top of that, we have the U.S. government now stepping in, and we don't know what regulations are going to come, right? We know regulations will most likely come into Bitcoin. That's something that we could probably see here real soon, but it's still one of those things that um like, when is it? Are they going to wait a few years to to come in and really kind of nail down the hammer? We know that London or the UK is stepping in with a lot of regulations, right? With Bitcoin, they finalized a lot of that already, whereas America is still kind of miranding around and kind of just chilling. So it's real interesting to see where we're at right now, right, with what we're doing. So I don't know. We'll find out as we continue. And additionally to that, right, we can also put out. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. I almost forgot one other live feed here, real quick. Give me 1 second as I grab this. I forgot to let Moonrock know that I was going live. Pardon me here, real quick. I gotta post this here, real quick. There we go. So, I like that. I'm gonna mess with that, Ryan. I probably will. Um, I actually need to learn how to do thumbnails well enough to be able to do that. But you are right. That probably is something that I will mess with. Um, so when I'm looking at this market and as we're seeing things move, right? Again, will the will the potential recession, depression really depress America to see us drop to really, really low levels within Bitcoin? I don't know. What's up, John? How you doing, brother? It's good to see you, bud. Yo, yo, it's good to see you. Um, I don't know, but we'll find out. Now, as we move forward, though, I want to pull out the month chart here because the month chart is kind of telling here, though. You can see here that the so right here is the next Bitcoin halving. This is in April of 2024. Okay. Now we typically will see within the first, the first 6 months of it coming, right? We could see a rally. So I mean, we could see a rally happen in the next 6 months, right? Of the next Bitcoin halving. It most likely will, but I don't know, right? Because we could be in this for another year. So we don't know when they're really going to push. Also, like I said, when regulations come, that might even suppress certain people who could buy are no longer able to buy, right? So that's going to be another thing to be able to see what as we move forward, what's going on. So this is where we're at. But you can see here that we have a big red candle from last month, and this month here you can see that we have a bigger seller wick than buyer wick, and we're coming towards the end of the month. And typically the last 2 weeks of December, you don't see a lot of trading. It pretty much just stays in this range, right? And so it's going to be interesting to see what we see come along at these levels. Now, let's look at ETH, because ETH could be telling us something here that we might not be able to gauge any other place. Right now, you can see here that ETH is again consolidating here on that monthly chart. But if you look here, you do see that we're kind of ranging at these levels. So from a better standpoint, like if I was a better against this, right? I would sit there and say that ETH might be at it's kind of like equilibrium here. I mean, we might see ETH. Now, I was expecting ETH to come down to this 530 mark. I really was, and I still am a bear down to there. But I'll tell you this now: if in the next month or two we go sideways here, I'm looking maybe to start adding my bags here for ETH simply because I thought we would have had bigger sell-offs from here. So it's going to be interesting to see as we enter into the recession of 2023, um, what's going to happen with this, right? With ETH. So it's something that I'm looking for. So as I'm looking to see, I want to see that 8 period moving average coming in, as well as the daily 8 period moving average on the, or excuse me, the weekly moving average as it comes in. You can see it's been holding down price as well here. So it's something that we'll find out what happens here. But like I said, we do have some support down in these levels of the 81 or the 881 to the 860 area as well. So we could see these areas here might be a place you might want to start considering maybe fill up your bags. We don't know, right? I mean, obviously, this is not financial advice, but I was expecting this to at least come down to at least by now. I thought we'd be down at that 540 or the 534 area. So it's really interesting to see where we're at here. Now, if we check out that daily chart on ETH is looking pretty similar to Bitcoin in this sense right here, right? Is that it's kind of in between the 8 period and the 20 period moving average, as well as this area here of that 1074, 1030 area. It's really interesting to see. These will be buying. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about, Ariane. Exactly. But here's the other thing, right? It also could be because this is also something to point out. These areas have been areas that we have traded through. So if we have, let's say, a catastrophe, let's say that BNB starts to fall apart, and then we see Tron starting to fall apart even more so, right? That's going to bring some troubleness. So because these zones have been traded through, we could see the market slice right through these areas, right? Boom, and come right back down to and come down to this 534. So it all depends what we see in the market and what's actually being brought up. It's something that is very interesting, and I just we don't know, right? We don't know. So, and that was a good thing. I like that. These are buying areas, so that's how I look at it. I obviously do not want to put my whole entire bag in these areas because then you hurt yourself, right? Then you don't have enough money to buy, So it all depends if it's showing me real support and real volume coming in. I want to see volume like you see this red here. I want to see these type of volume in red, but in green, right? And as it hits these levels here, that's what's really important to me. As I move forward. So let's check out BNB here real quick. Now BNB, because of what's gone on with SBF and FTX, right? We've seen BNB kind of take a tiny hit here from this stuff. So CZ did say that he has a 1-to-1 ratio to be able to back. So if everybody wanted their money in Binance, he could easily give them a 1-to-1 ratio back for all their cash and still keep Binance afloat and running. So that's a big claim. And you know what though? I mean, we saw what he did with he opened up his cofferdam and he took a picture of it. So we think maybe it might be there. BNB, Brian says here that BNB is the future and BUSD is safe for every one of you. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that's a big bold statement to put out, Brian, Mr. Shit Talk. So I would say that's a very very big thing to sit there and say. But you know what? You could be right. We don't know what happens here, right? He's a smart businessman. He knows how to run a business, and additionally, too, he knows how to, he's done some really smart things. So let's check them out on a monthly time here. Now you can see here on the monthly chart here that there is a fatty wick down or up in this level here. And in additionally to that, we do have pressure coming in from that 8-period moving average along with that 50-period on the weekly sitting at these levels here. So we did see a bit of a sell-off here. I'm going to need to see some bigger buys, man, coming in to see this get above this. Like I said in the last video, we need to see BNB get above the previous month's low, right? That we need to see that, right? If it closes somewhere above in here at the end of the month, that bodes well for BNB. That bodes very well for them, at least for the short term. He just handled the craziest street test in crypto. Any other exchange would have collapsed. I would, you know what? I would agree. But he also took on the biggest, the biggest one of the the biggest exchange besides him, right? He took out his competitor, and that competitor gave a lot of money to the Democrats. So it's we don't know. We don't know 100%, right? Like life is crazy. So we don't necessarily know. Go ahead. What are you saying, Brian? Binance consumers' confidence will be all-time high in the next 6 months, brother. Very much. I don't disagree, right? My job is not to predict the future, but pay attention to the charts and what the charts are telling me. So I have these levels here that I look at. I'm pretty good at calling it. I'm not gonna say I'm a master, but I'm fairly good at saying where it's gonna go and see what we're gonna see going. So um, now the add on with that, all right, with that, where we're kind of at these levels here, where if it does start to have a larger sell off here on BNB, we've traded through all these zones here. So the next real zone is down at this 135 area to that 119 area. And I'll tell you this, if we get down there, I'm loading my bags up. I mean, I honestly think that's where maybe even a lot of institutions would definitely load up bags, right? Like, going in at that level. So it's really interesting to sit there and see what actually comes through as we enter that level. It's all good. You know what? I, and I don't. I wouldn't say I'm always right. Right? There's been times where I've been wrong. So, but I put it like this though, as you say, as a degen, if we get down to those levels, right? Like, yeah, I just ape in, right? Take a full paycheck and just drop it in that. So, right? Live on rice and beans for a couple months, right? So that's something that we will see what happens, right? But you know what? It with what we see in traditional markets and what's actually going on, it's scary times, right? It's a pretty scary time to actually see what we're seeing with the onset of major economic troubles, right? Like they've talked about the inflation kicking in, right? Once the U.S. Starts to go into the open market and buy back crude oil from Russia or wherever they're going to get it from the Saudis, right? Are they going to take the dollar? Or I know that Russia's talked about where they're not going to play with the dollar. You're going to have to pay them in gold, right? And so it's really interesting to sit there and see what's actually moving forward here, right? It's kind of scary. The Saudis have said, you know what, we're not making any more production. So, when we go on the open market and start buying crude oil again, that's going to raise the price of crude oil. I mean, pretty dramatically. The Democrats played a smart play by tapping into the petroleum reserves, right? And it basically caused America to basically go, well, okay, most people don't pay attention to all those little details, right? They just saw, okay, we have some relief here. Good job, Democrats. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, I don't care. I'm just saying whatever they put out there, right? And so it's really interesting. But this is where we're at here. So if we do see B&B start to fall under trouble or maybe the larger market, we could see another sell off into B&B down into these lower levels simply because these have already been traded through. This level was traded through here with this candle. And then you can see here that this is already starting to show weakness. So like I said, we've got this lower level here down the 205 to the 204 level on that daily zone there. And then from there, this is a reaction off of another chart. Even though you can't see it here, this is a reaction off another zone that was back here on Coin Market Cap. So the next real zone that hasn't been traded through is down at the 135 area. It's gonna be real interesting to see as we move forward. Now, if we check in right here with the XRP, actually, we traded XRP on the market last time I went live there. So it was real interesting to sit there and see. Oh, forgive me, we did not look at BNB's daily here, so we'll just check that out here real quick. Now it was really interesting. Apart from this daily move here, within B&B. Um, Come on, let's go. Come on, don't tell me I'm getting bogged down. I'm gonna have to check out. Come on. Is this gonna go? Am I gonna have to have a part two? Let's see. Come on. There we are. So you can see here that we're consolidating. We're playing off of that 8-period moving average. Now we did pierce it today, so this could be a bullish sentiment saying that it might push up for a little bit. We do have the previous supply, which has become demand, and we also have this turning junction point between the 20 as well as the 200-period moving average sitting right here. So we could see a small rally from where we're sitting all the way to that 274 area, where we might see a turnaround back down to these lower levels. So on a daily mark, that's something to be paying attention to if we do start to move up. All right, guys, let's check out XRP here real quick. XRP is moving. Um, you can see here that we have been playing off of that 8-period moving average on the daily. And you can see here, like I said, there is this trading zone right here, but it's already been traded off. So the next real level is down right here. So again, if we really start to see a sell-off within XRP, we're going to see this market here probably come down to that 29 area, because we simply, when we came rallied up, we didn't put a higher high here. We actually put a lower high here, which then typically takes it into a lower low. So it's something to be paying attention to. Now, as we come down into these lower levels, we want to see a lot of volume coming in here. If we don't see a lot of volume coming in, the next level from the 29 to 28 is that 21 mark. We have a big slip and slide all the way down to this level here. So be ready for that if that does happen. Now you can see here, let's move into Litecoin here real quick. Litecoin has been actually been selling off, but you can see here that they've actually had some higher highs and higher lows here. So it's really interesting. Forgive me for this. I don't know why that should be quieted. So I might have to jump in that real quick. So you can see here that it did put in a higher high, right? And then it's finding its lower high right here at these levels, which is at a um, which is at a previous supply, which has now become demand. So really interesting to sit here and see what we have going on. Now it's important also to gauge that as the market starts to move at these levels, right, that we need to make sure that we want to see big green volume step in if it's going to move continue. I'm gonna have to shut this guy off here. These guys are getting bad now. Shoot, pardon me, guys. I apologize behind that. Come on. And is this going to, here we go. Let's go ahead and turn this off here real quick. And I apologize about that, my peoples. Message, device. Boost server by people. Silence. There should be a silence here. Hope you guys are enjoying the music. She does a pretty good job at what she does there. So go check it. Go check her out. She is. Why can't I shut this off, Ryan? I should be able to shut this off here real quick. All together. All right, that should be it. And this is not wanting to. Give me 1 second, guys. There we are. There we go. That should be it right there. Apologize. Now here we go, guys. And you can see here that with Litecoin that we have that 8 period moving average here. Okay, and as we're coming down into it, you can see that we actually have support on higher time frame moving averages here that are coming in that are actually underneath price. It's going to be really interesting to see if price has the ability, or if the moving average has the ability to hold on and keep the actual price from falling. So that monthly 8 here is sitting. Come on, come on. At these lower levels are right below it. So we're going to see if Litecoin can actually put in a pretty higher high, right? We do have that weekly moving average sitting above us right here. The reason why I'm saying that is this potentially might be another rally, a potential rally back up to these higher levels here on Litecoin, just simply because of the look of it, right? That we put in a high and then a lower high, or excuse me, a higher low, and now we have higher highs and potential higher low here. So these levels here are basically, we could see an extension of the next leg all the way up into the 200 period moving average here on that weekly, right? That's very much a big deal. And what is that? That's going to be a pretty good run, from basically 62 all the way to potentially 99, where we could see that next run from Litecoin. So something to be paying attention to, just simply because potential money right there for you guys. Give me 1 second. Let me put this in. There it is. And then we've got the weekly moving averages here on the 50 period moving average sitting right here. Come on. I'm hoping I'm not gonna have to cancel this. Come on, don't do this. My computer was running good and now it's starting to run slow and bogged down for whatever reason. All right, guys. So but this is something that I wanted to point out here, simply because potential from 70 to 90, we could see a rally here at these levels here. So making sure that you guys understand what we're seeing here. And on that daily chart here, you could see here that we are seeing the market turn around here, but you do have that 20 up here. We have pierced that. Hey, this is gonna be the first time that we're gonna touch it, but you can see here that the bears couldn't continue this down for today. So probably tomorrow we'll see Litecoin rally back up to at least here within a day. This could be a big run, just like this run up here. We could see that type of run all the way up to here for tomorrow. So make sure you're paying attention to your smaller time frames as we're playing, and make sure you're using a trending mechanism to gauge when you want to go long or short. Let's check out DOT here real quick. DOT is looking very interesting here as well. It's top 100, but we can see here that it is selling off here, and we came down into our buyer zone at that $4. So the next level here, as we come down into, is really that 213 to the 142 area here. So this is potentially another short that you could place on into DOT, and all the other SMAs are above it. So if you're considering playing this on the futures, like Binance futures or something like that, you could have a really pretty big short where you could play this for a week, two, maybe a potential month, as we cascade down into the 213 area. Just to give you guys interesting perspective there. In addition to, let's check out Cardano. Cardano, right, has been getting hit pretty hard as well, and they've got a lot of stuff going on here. So it's really interesting to sit there and see that. And all the other monthly moving averages are all below. The next level that we have, again, is this 15 cent to 11 cent area here with ADA. So that's something that you guys could be picking up here as we continue down into these lower levels. Check out Dogecoin. Now, Dogecoin have actually been holding up at this current level as we see. I was actually expecting us to be down at the 5 cent mark by now, honestly. So the whole entire push up with Elon Musk, right, that we saw happening here with his potential buy, it was really interesting. It was really, so I find it very interesting that we're actually holding up at these levels. Now, let me jump in here real quick to that monthly here. There we go. Come on. There we are. So it's underneath, it's holding on to that 50 period moving average as you see. And it's holding on to it pretty good. So it's one of those things that I'm pretty impressed. But we're kind of stuck. So if we do start to rally up, be ready for these moving averages sitting there. We have that 8 period moving average on that monthly, right? So we very much could hit that. And then we have that 50 period moving average. So we could see a ping pong effect from the 7 cent to 8 cent mark here, where we can see it play back and forth on that monthly chart. And then if we look at that weekly chart here, again, we have the higher time frame moving averages sitting at these levels also. So it's going to be really interesting to see as we continue here. Biggest thing to be paying attention to, really, right, is if we do start to see a sell-off, we want to see big red volume, which we're not. So it's really interesting. It could be also just a lack of volume in the markets, but I do feel as if there is a 1 second. There is a sentiment to push it down to that 5 cent mark, though. So real interesting to see where we're at and where we're headed to. Here we go. Boom. Potentially, I mean, in all honesty, we probably could see it come all the way down to that 0.004 cent mark, right? That would be insanity. I don't think Elon Musk would like it, but potentially it very much could come down there. Um, but make sure you're paying attention to this shorting opportunity if it does break these levels of the 50 period moving average, because the next real level, as we see, is that 0.603 area. Now let's look at Tron here real quick. Tron USDD was having a hard time getting back their peg to their stable coin. So it has been a really interesting thing to see their actual coin play at these levels. So I I potentially am potentially we could see Tron have another sell off here from these levels. But in recent weeks, we've seen them at least climb back up to that 50 period moving average. Potentially, we see here that we do have a pretty good channel. So if you potentially want to take this short down to their next level of the 0.43 area to the 0.37 area, you might want to be able to capture that short in this level here. So it's something to be paying attention to. Now, when we look at, now obviously that's a weak level, not weak, but that's a weekly level. On the monthly chart here, we are seeing the 8 period moving average starting to cascade down to current price. So if this does come back down here to this, if this falls pretty hard this week and we don't see Tron really pick up some movement up, we potentially could see a drop again, a drop down to that 0.43 area on a monthly on that monthly level here as we're looking at. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. Let's check out Matic here real quick. Matic is looking, as you see, it's kind of bullish, right? Comparative to we look at the other markets, right? On a monthly level, we see that big old buyer wake, which we should have seen a bigger sell-off right here, but it's been holding pretty strong at that 78 mark area. I think Tron would like to have that chart. That would be something that they would want. Um, but they but Matic is a pretty strong company. They've got a lot of things going. A lot of people are launching on Matic, so it's one of those things that we could sit there and see another when everything sells off. I think we might see, and there are a few moon rockers that did take advantage of the 32 cent mark when it came back down to this level. I thought we were going to come back to that level again. We might never see it because it's the strength that we're seeing in Matic, right? Also with them, we know that there's that bank that is tied to Warren Buffett, and and the truth is they're going to be launching their coin on Matic as well. So it's something that's really interesting to see what we have going on here. Um, the other side behind it, as well as from a charting standpoint, all of these levels have been traded through. So if we come down into this level again, these are areas that have been traded. So the next level is at 68, 67. If we do trade through this quickly, then the next level is going to be that 57 mark area if it does cascade down into these levels. All right, guys, that's it. Let's take out Shiba Inu here real quick. Shiba Inu is showing signs of come on, let's go. Shiba Inu. I'm almost finished with this. There we go. So let's take that off and see what happens. All right, let's see if this comes down to Shiba Inu and allows me to be able to pull it up. Come on. Come on. All right, let's see. We just might have to close on tabs, see if this goes away. Come on. There it is. It's working now. Here we go. All right, here we go. So Shiba Inu here. Like I said, guys, I'm definitely a buyer of Shiba Inu down at the 686 or the 682 mark here. I definitely like these levels here simply because it's where previous demand really started seeing this market rally hard. We've been following that 8 period moving average recently within the last couple of weeks, following the weekly 8. So that's important to be paying attention to. When we break this level here, we want to see some major sellers stepping in, which we kind of did start seeing right here as we started to sell off. So this probably will continue down into that 6862 mark here, where you could probably buy and be able to take advantage of it. It's in a nutshell right there. And let's check out Solana. Good old Solana. They've got that Solana phone coming. I mean, that's AT&T partnered with them, and they've stuck it out with them. So it's going to be really interesting to see what comes of AT&T and Solana. So I hope that they do regroup and do really well from that. I know there are some projects that are definitely launching and moving on Solana. You can see here is that 8 period moving average though is holding pretty strong here and keeping price on Solana pretty low. It is put in lower highs and lower lows here, so it's something to be mindful of as the market does continue to go down. Again, that 134 area is something that I am looking at personally. And then from there, we'll probably see it come back. I actually have to jump onto what would these levels be right here? Wow, 42 cents, 43 cents. I didn't even think we got to see if we can get down to these levels here. But if this gets down to here, the next level is that $2 mark. And after that, somewhere in the 40s and 50 cents. So real interesting to see as we continue to move. It is crazy market. And that's in it for the rally up of everything. If you guys, it's been really interesting to see what's actually going on with crypto news. I've been really kind of blown away to see what's actually going on with Elon Musk and Twitter. And it blew me away that he probably is going to be stepping down as the Twitter CEO because of people voted him down. So I'm kind of sad. He'll probably be the chief. He'd probably be the CTO, the chief technical officer that handles all the coding and all that stuff. We know that that's what he went to school for. He went to school, I believe, for computer or finance, and I think he got a degree in finance as well as in physics. And then, but we know that he started and coded his 2 businesses, and that's what made him a millionaire. Because he created with him and his brother, I believe. So really interesting to see where he leads next in this. The other thing about behind it as well is his neural link. Um, all right, his neural link is literally going through, and he got in trouble a while back ago for how they were, well, inappropriately kind of hurting animals. But I guess that's kind of been worked out. So, we haven't really heard much about that lately. And so it's really interesting to see as Neuralink actually starts to get implemented into humans. It's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens with that. And the fact is that he is out running that business as well as with Twitter. So it'll be really interesting to see how he's able to handle that. But it's kind of sad to see what's actually going on there with him. Let's pull him up here real quick. Come on. Elon Musk. It's really interesting to see what's happening here. Hopefully he does. Should Congress approve the 1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill? No. There you go. Look at that. This is the reason why I want Elon Musk to stay in power. And this is the reason why. With the whole entire thing that's been going on, with how he's been revealing how basically, the Pentagon and all this other stuff with the politicians going through and basically doing backdoor deals. It's he, it was interesting that, back in the, when he decided to go open it and start to run this, Jack Dorsey just told him, hey, man, open the floodgates and let everybody know, be completely transparent. And that's what he's done, right? We're actually able to sit there and see that. I mean, it was really interesting to see when Apple basically said, we're going to remove all of our fundings from you, right? Like, that was crazy. Like, because I personally thought, man, what does Apple have to lose? Like, what are they like? How deep are they, right? Like that's what made me think when they started popping off like that. I actually stopped buying Apple products because when they went out and they were threatening that, and Elon Musk just I feel like wants just to be transparent, open everything up. So I don't know. It's real interesting to see how those things are being played. But anyways, I am here. I just want to pop in real quick, throw some news in your guys' area. Also, if you guys want me to talk about any type of news, please send it my way. You guys can find me in a few lounges like the Coin Launch Lounge, as well as Ninja Lounge and the Midnight Lounge. You can also find me there, but I'm particular in Moonrock Coin, where you can find me there directly. I'm a dev there. But I just want to pop in, say hi to you guys. I'm gonna start doing probably at least 3 times a week where you guys get me. Hopefully you guys like it. Share, subscribe. Also, I want to bring this up. I have started to go through and put up my content on a new social platform that is in beta. I want to make sure I add it is in beta, but it's called My Content or My Co Stream. This is it right here. I'm pulling it up here. I really like them because I like what they're doing. They're basically they put a token to all the content. The in this project is all from India, right? Don't tell me my internet's going out here. If you guys could comment in the if you would comment in the comment section, let me know if you guys can hear me. Am I doing okay? Let me check this here real quick. All right, there we go. All right, there we are. So I sound pretty decent. I thought I was skipping there for a second. All right, so I like these guys simply because I can watch videos. They have pretty good videos, decent content. Again, I want to add it is in beta. There are some videos there that aren't working. Some of them are, but you can basically go through. They have pretty much any content that you want to go watch and see. And obviously, it is not as plush as YouTube, but the fact is that they are catering to 1/5 of the population. We should see some major other influence start to get on it. And why not start up your own stuff with them? They're pretty epic. I like them. So if you will, go check them out. on it, I am under Pedro Garcia chart analysis. Excuse me, Pedro Garcia crypto chart analysis. And you can find me. You can find my content as well on it. I'm gonna start posting all my stuff there as well. You can go there, watch me, get paid for watching me as well. You can like my stuff and share it as well from it. I just think they pay you. They basically pay you Bitcoin, or not? Excuse me, not Bitcoin. They pay you their own local coin, but you know what? You get paid just to watch. So I thought it was pretty dope to go check out. Again, I want to reiterate, they are in beta. So that means there's still things that they are working out, but I like it. So it's something for you guys to go check them out as well. All right. Thank you again so much for coming in today, guys. Many blessings. I hope you guys do well. And I hope your Christmas goes well as well. I know it's crazy out there in the malls. I can't believe how many people are actually out there, especially with what's, kind of like the potential downturn of the market. But you know what? When your kids want things, that's, you got to say yes, right? So, anyways, guys, have a blessed day. I will see you guys soon. I'll probably do something on Friday here again. And who knows, something even tomorrow. Depends on if the market's moving or not. Until then, guys, all I got to say is thank you for coming in today. And, and go check out. There we go. Boom. There we are. I'm going to present this here real quick. Give me 1 second here. Slides. Man, I'm still trying to figure out this stuff here. Man. Real quick. I also want to throw out today my involvement, not involvement, but I also want to put out the idea that if you like the music that was being played today and you enjoyed it, again, that individual is right here. This is who she is. She's helped me out by creating content, and would appreciate you guys go check her out. It's stayweird.ent.420. She's making good music. She doesn't got a lot of people, but she's got good music, and so I want to shout her out and allow her to get to get some content, because she's doing a good job, and it'd be cool just to see her um, get some streams and some things like that. So check her out, subscribe to her, like her stuff, and kind of go from there. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time, and have a blessed day again. I will see you guys probably on Friday, but until then, you guys have. Give me one. I'm still trying to work this out. Boom, come on. I'm a mess over here. There we go. Let's see if this works here. You guys should see this here. Do not know why that's not showing. It should show. There we are. Boom. I'm trying to close out with content here window. Man, this is killing me here. Come on. There we are. Again, I'll see you guys on Friday. And you guys have a great day, and I will see you then. Please check out a few of those websites I sent you guys. I think those are dope sites, and you guys will like them. All right, guys, many blessings, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.